Hey, good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's having a great day. Right now, we're headed down to the co-op. We're going to get some fertilize. I've got to pick that up and take back. We're actually working over in Indiana today at our place, at least for the morning part of the day. We've got to spread some fertilize over there, work that in the ground, and then take all the equipment back over to the Kentucky side, plant some corn and beans, and get some ground ready to plant tomatoes tomorrow. So that's what we've got in store for today. Busy day, a bunch of stuff going on, but hopefully it'll be interesting. So let's get at it. Hook up to a buggy, get weighed out, get loaded up. Hey folks, we made it back to our place here in Indiana. We got the spreader back there ready to do spreading things once we get it hooked up to the tractor. But I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a glimpse for the roadside stand that we're building over here on our property. We've got everything kind of staked out, so maybe you can kind of see the concept that we're going for here. Hopefully we're going to start sometime later this month. We're going to be getting a dozer and getting some ground leveled out and site prepped and getting the entrance made from the state highway. So a lot of red tape that you got to go through. We have to get approved for a business license to do this, and then we have to also get a permit for the building and for the entrance and whatnot. So kind of wasn't prepared for all that. I didn't really know the details that goes into that kind of thing, but we've got everything rolling, so it shouldn't be too long now before we can start breaking ground on this, which I'm really excited about. So, I'm not quite sure how well you can see the stakes, but our plan is we're going to build this kind of in stages because we can't afford to build it all at once. But right here would be the front of the building. It's going to have a overhang here, like a wraparound porch that goes all the way around it, where we will set out flowers and such for people to see. This here would be the entrance where we walk in, and the building would this would be like the inside of the building where we have produce to sell and whatnot. And it'll go back here probably to this right about here. The building is going to be 36 by 40, this on the first part of it, and then later on we hope to build a shop behind it, which would end up being a 40 by 80 shop that hooks onto the back of the stand. So, and then over here would be a greenhouse, a 32 by 80 greenhouse. So we are going to try to put that up this fall, so it'll be ready for next year. But here's the pumpkin field. This is going to be you-pick pumpkins. So that's why I'm trying to get this all worked up and ready to go. We have later plans to have you pick blueberries and strawberries over in that area, or on the other side of this field. We haven't quite figured that out yet, but we have enough land to do that for now. So one thing I did a little bit different this year is that I actually wanted to no-till the cover crop into this field, but it's been so wet. It's not been tilled in years, so it was having trouble drying out. So that, and then like everybody and their brothers renting. I don't own a no-till drill, so everybody and their brother is renting no-till drills trying to get their crops planted, so it was really hard to try to find one. So I went ahead and tilled this, and what we ended up doing was the guys at the co-op let me dump the cover crop seed into the fertilize mixer. So the seed is actually mixed up inside the fertilize. So when we spread this, we'll have to disc it in, and then hopefully the seed will come up. And we've done things like that in the past. I don't like to do it that way. I would rather use a drill or something like that, a grain drill, because it's going to be a more consistent depth and it's going to come up better. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do to make things happen. So we're going to get at it, y'all. All right, so we got this thing hooked up. There's a fancy little chart here on the back that tells you the rate. That's got an X through it, so I'm assuming that means they no longer have the low speeds. Okay, so we need to open, we want about 300 pounds per acre. That'll be close. We're gonna set it on 3. That's too much. You can see the marks are kind of, it'll focus. So I got it like on 3.5. That's too much. We're gonna back it down. That's good enough. Somewhere around 300 pounds an acre is good enough. We're going to go over this field twice, and actually everything inside this buggy is going to go in this field. So if there's a little bit left over, I'll just spread it out where it needs to go. Back at it. Got everything spread. It took longer to hook up the spreader, I think, than the spread disc. But I just wanted to give you, like, see the seed. There's some seed. Oats is what we actually are planting for this cover crop. But there's a bunch of oat seeds mixed in with the fertilizer. So you may be asking why we're putting cover crop down when we're going to plant pumpkins. Well, the biggest reason, ideally we would have done this in the fall, but we didn't purchase this property until like November, so there was no way we could get in here and do a cover crop or anything like that. There's nothing been done with this little piece of land for forever. So, but ideally you do it in the fall, and the reason that we're planting a cover crop is like we'll come in and we'll kill the cover crop about 2 weeks before we plant, and then we'll roll the cover crop down and then plant through the cover crop. And what that does, it makes a nice bed. When the pumpkins come up, they'll lay on that bed while they're growing, and they won't get muddy. So when we go to pick them, and we don't have to wash them, or there won't be as much dirt on them. And it also helps to try to keep the weeds from coming up too. So it kind of serves two purposes. And that's the reason we like using cover crop with our pumpkins, when we like planting right into it after we kill it down. So anyways, in gist, that's the reason that we are using cover crop with our pumpkins. So now I've got to till this in. We're going to hook back up to the fertilized buggy. I've got to go get more fertilize, and then we're going to head across the river and move all this equipment over there, which it's about an hour drive on the tractor, believe it or not. It's not very far mileage wise, but it just, you know, when you're going 18 miles an hour, it takes a while. got everything done today. It's been a really long day, but we got the fertilize and the cover crop planted over at our house in Indiana. Came back over here, got 4 more acres of fertilize put on the field. We sprayed a ½ acre of ground for our tomatoes, and what else we do? We worked the ground in, we worked the fertilize in. So then we planted some more beans and planted some more green beans and sweet corn. But I'm out here in the sweet corn field right now. I think it was like Saturday morning and maybe Monday morning we had a freeze. So I can tell that the corn has taken a little bit of a hit. There's some guys out here that look like they may be dead, or they may come back. I'm not sure, but overall I don't think it hurt the population that bad. The green beans, it did hurt. We're probably going to have to end up replanting them, and our ornamental corn has not come up yet. I don't believe that is because of the freeze. It just not sure what happened there, but we're probably going to have to replant the ornamental corn. Well folks, that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you guys for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And tomorrow we've got some tomatoes that we have to transplant if it does not rain. So it seems like I say that a lot, but it seems like every other day that's what it's been doing. About as soon as it dries out to do something, you get about 1 day of work in and then it rains again. So we'll just have to see what the weather does tomorrow, but that's what we've got in store next. So hope you guys are having a good evening. I'm gonna go home and eat. It's been a long day. See you soon. Bye.